know who OU's bowl opponent is. Now, who's going to be the Sooner quarterback? I'm Barry Trammell, chatting electronically with OU writer Jason Kersey, and the Sooners are talking Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. That game is January 2nd down in New Orleans. And Jason, the one thing we don't know for sure, we have an inkling, but we don't know for sure, who's going to quarterback the Sooners?
Yeah, we have no idea who's going to quarterback them. Someone very close to one of the quarterbacks anticipated the question the other day when I was talking to him and said, your guess is as good as mine. So I don't think anybody knows. I'm not even sure the coaches know yet what they're going to do. But I think the best option might just be to play both of them.
Well, the last time we saw this Oklahoma team with the inspiring upset in Stillwater, they used three quarterbacks with Trevor Knight getting knocked out of the game, go with Kendall Thompson most of the third quarter, come to Blake Bell in the fourth quarter, basically change the offense back away from the option, and Bell took the Sooners down the field for the game-winning touchdown, mostly via the air. So this is an Oklahoma team that has not been great on offense, but it has shown that it can win a lot of different ways and maybe can keep Alabama off balance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that for as inconsistent as the offense has been, for as much as we talk about they don't have an identity, I think one thing they do have going for them is that they can go a couple of different ways with their offense. They can go with Blake Bell and throw the ball around, or they can bring Trevor Knight in and run the read option, which, in the second quarter against Oklahoma State, they drained, I think, 8 minutes off the clock by running the read option before he got hurt. So they've really shown that they can be successful both ways, and so against Alabama, that might be the best way to have a chance.
Now, most people, including me, think that the Sooners will start Trevor Knight because a mobile quarterback is probably the way to go against Alabama. We've seen people like Auburn's Nick Marshall and Texas A&M's Johnny Manziel have success against the Crimson Tide, in part because of a quarterback who can move his feet. We've also seen Alabama shut down mobile quarterbacks. We've seen Georgia's Aaron Murray have success, a classic in the pocket passer. So I think the chances are that the Sooners might try both quarterbacks. And what we've seen this year is that Oklahoma can go back and forth without too much adjustment.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is that they can switch back and forth, and clearly they're running different versions of their offense with each of them in. But each of them kind of brings something different to the table. And another thing I think that sort of points that they're going to use both of them is all year you could sort of tell who was going to start a lot of times by who they'd bring into the interview room that week of practice. And last week they brought them both in. And we got our media schedule for the Sugar Bowl. In the offensive press conference, both quarterbacks are listed as guys who are going to be available. So to me, that's a sign, as much as anything, that they're both going to play.
How much of this subterfuge do you think can benefit the Sooners? How much will this keep Alabama guessing just in the name of a bowl preparation? Will Nick Saban have to prepare for both OU offenses?
I think so, and I think that's probably part of the reason they're handling it this way. I think against Alabama, when you're a huge underdog, nobody expects Oklahoma to win. But maybe the best way to have a shot is to keep them guessing and have them preparing for two different things, because nobody's really sure what's going to happen.
Well, Jason, if they do go with two quarterbacks, what kind of rotation do you envision? We've seen on occasion Oklahoma use a quarterback come in for a play or two. Trevor Knight did that in Waco. But would we see a situation where a guy might come in for a full quarter, or will it be a more limited basis?
I don't know. I think I sort of feel like if they're going to use both of them, it might be best to have Blake Bell kind of be the main guy, and then use Trevor Knight in a special package, which is sort of what they tried to do a little bit at Baylor, and maybe what they should have done against Texas. I think, if you're indeed going to play both of them, it sort of seems to me like Blake Bell might be the guy to maybe start and take most of the snaps, although I could be wrong.
Well, we'll know more as the game approaches. The Sooners leave for New Orleans later in the week. We'll be down there and providing you all the Sugar Bowl coverage that your heart desires. Stay tuned for further OU football coverage here on News OK and every day in the Oklahoma.